All right, guys, this is BS with Joe. So today, what do we got talking about?
Well, I wanted to start off with local stuff
Local stuff? Let's bring it on.
because it's a Florida show. We're trying to be a little bit more local. So,
Yeah.
this whole deal with Glenn Gazine and his replacement, who is Castor Dental,
Okay.
evidently. All right. So here's what happened.
Okay.
Glenn Gazine decided on his own,
Mhm.
without this should have gone to the county commissioners board to be voted on. But he decided to make a deal with Volusia County, Volusia College, I think it was,
Okay.
or is it Valencia College? I don't know.
It was, I think I saw that. Valencia College.
Valencia College.
To expand the voter polls or something
Exactly.
like that.
The deal was the contract that he signed with them is they get 5 new early voting polling places, and the supervisor elections has to give them $2.5 million.
Okay.
He didn't have the authority to agree to that.
Yeah. Because that has to be approved.
That has to be voted on by the county commissioners.
Yeah. Because
can't-
that's where the money goes. They have to vote upon it.
Exactly. And it came out when his controller basically blew the whistle on a $1.1 million check to a charity.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Which is another one that, I mean, if the funds for your office are going to charity, that has to be approved by the county commissioners.
Correct. And not only that, but
They're probably not going to.
yeah, because if it's going to a charity, that could also sway voters or other things.
Exactly.
And if that sways voters, then that could be voter manipulation.
Right. Now, Jerry Denning, and he's a straight up guy, and he basically called them out, called an emergency meeting, which the emergency meeting accomplished absolutely nothing. I guess it lasted about 20 minutes and then it was gone, but it was, a lot of critics are saying it was just for show.
That sounds like it would be for show to cover his butt because somebody did something bad. So instead of coming down on him and getting proper suspension or whatever happening, he's probably going to get. Don't do that.
No, he's going to get more than a slap.
He's going to get a slap on the wrist.
So at the next county commissioners meeting, after the sham meeting, which was only a few days later. I mean,
yeah.
I think that's probably why it ended up being such a short meeting. Is the county commissioners that were in attendance were like, "Dude, we have a meeting in a few days. What are you doing?"
Right.
Because it's the county. So we're not talking about the United
So
States.
that's probably why it's a sham meeting. It was probably more for press.
Right. So the I don't remember the name of the particular person it wasn't Denning. Somebody basically laid out and said, "All right, all right, supervisor of elections, open your books. Let's see where this money went because this is all public information. You can't hide the money. We have to you have to tell us."
So it's going to be interesting to see where that money's going.
Right. So the county shows up at the supervisor of elections office to collect the accounting. Okay.
Right.
And on the counter is a box of donuts and a memorandum that basically just gives an overview of the accounting and not the actual books.
Yeah, no, you need the actual books. Otherwise, the memorandum of it's like a this is a part of what you want, but this isn't the whole thing. We're going so we can continue hiding.
And I think the box of donuts was an insult.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so Glenn Gazine then hits the news. This is 2 days ago. This was released where he's claiming that this is a political witch hunt. Which, in my opinion, you didn't have the authority to do this to begin with. So, I'm sorry, dude, but your butt's in a sling right now.
Well, and it is. You could consider it a political witch hunt whenever the political party is doing something nefarious.
Yeah, I mean,
because it needs to be exposed.
Most of Orange County's commissioners and the mayor are all Democrats, and so is Glenn Gazine. So,
well, and that's the thing. It's like how far does this rock go?
Mm-hmm.
And this could be Deming's with that sham council or whatever that he had in front of before they actually did the thing. Could have been his way of saying, I'm distancing myself away from this.
It's possible, but Jerry's been around for a long time.
He has been around for a long time.
I don't think. I mean, if he was corrupt, it would have come out a long time ago.
That's true. That is very true. He does seem to be pretty upstanding.
Yeah, and he's done a lot for the community.
He has done a lot. Now, thinking of that, there was also a Congress lady from another state was caught by the FBI. She was arrested by the FBI.
What for?
Fraud, stealing money from I believe contributions.
Oh, okay. So that was a campaign finance fraud.
Campaign finance fraud, and so that's
This is totally different.
yeah. This is totally different. But where I'm relating the two is there's a bunch of pointing fingers at other people, so that way the spotlight isn't on them, kind of thing. Because that could be why the FBI is finally bringing this out, because they know it's going to come out. So to get the FBI to come from them, hey, we're going to throw you a bone.
That's possible.
Yeah, because we're starting to see a lot of stuff come out with.
That's how Capitol Hill works. They're like, hey, look at this, and they're doing something else over here.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying is they see the sinking ship.
Yeah.
And the rats are coming out now.
Oh, they've been scrambling.
Oh yeah, but it's interesting to see and to actually see. Okay, now we are actually seeing actual misconduct and what's happening about it, which is great. Because any kind of misconduct or rot or theft or any of that, especially of our government, because they're voted in, they are trusted by the people, and they're now, okay, well, you trusted us, we're going to steal this money, or we're going to put pressure on certain individuals for other reasons.
Yeah.
Like BLM with Daniel Penny case.
Bureau of Land Management or the new BLM?
The new BLM. So they were coming out because the jury was a hung jury on the major offense of I believe it was manslaughter charge.
Okay.
And they couldn't vote guilty or not guilty, and the judge even put it's not really a threat to the jury, but put pressure on the jury to make a decision, and they couldn't come up with a decision. So I believe that portion of the trial is going to be a mistrial, so they're going to the lesser charge. So now they're going to be deliberating on the lesser charge.
All right, well.
And
the wheel turns.
Yeah, the wheel turns. And this case is not just a self-defense case. This is of a person being able to defend a populace.
Yeah.
You know, because he was not just defending himself, he was defending the passengers on the train. And I honestly, from what I've seen from the trial in the case, I honestly believe he was also trying to protect the individual that wound up dying from himself harming others, because who wants to face those prison sentences or that prison time? Because if he really wanted to kill him, he would have done it on the train and not waited for authorities to come.
That's true.
And he could have still claimed it self-defense too.
He could have. I don't know. I don't claim to understand people that do stupid things.
No, me neither. But the fact that he's being charged for this, right, and the fact that there's active groups going after him.
Yeah.
And it's one of those kind of things. I wasn't on the train. I can't tell you what happened, but from the evidence that I found, it seems like that's what kind of case it's going to be.
Very well could be.
Yes. All right. Is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
Well, let's dive into this predictive policing issue.
Predictive policing issue.
Yes.
So tell me about that.
We've got a Minority Report going on.
Yes.
Pasco County.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff of Pasco County introduced an AI program
Mm-hmm.
that basically went through the county records
Mm-hmm.
and predicted people that might be committing a violent felony in the next year.
Oh.
And then he went out and arrested them.
You can't do that.
Yeah, well, I know.
What the hell's he thinking? He's the sheriff?
He's the sheriff. And
You voted for it.
the really messed up thing
Yeah.
is when it was called out and he lost in court, he still didn't admit that it was the wrong thing to do. He just said, I don't remember exactly what, I was just disgusted when I heard his response to it. Because he was like, we didn't do anything wrong.
Oh, tyranny.
Yeah.
The tyranny.
So Pasco County now has to pay, it's just under $500,000 in taxpayer money to people that were wrongfully arrested, unconstitutionally, that hadn't committed a crime.
Rightfully so. They should get money.
Well, yeah, but this sheriff needs to go.
Well, that also goes to one thing that you know I've been.
I don't
hearing
think
about.
he should be allowed to continue his current tenure.
Oh, absolutely.
He needs
should
to go.
He needs to go. Ron DeSantis needs to do something about that.
Yeah.
And not only that, but I believe if there's a council meeting brought up, the citizens can actually strike a vote to have him removed.
Where is Pasco County?
I don't quite know in Florida. I think it's on the West Coast.
Okay.
But also, one thing I wanted to talk about with that, and this is qualified immunity. So qualified immunity, what that is that allows police officers to be immune from civil lawsuits against them personally. You have to go against the department instead of the individual.
Right.
So this gives them the ability to feel like they could do their job without repercussion. Now, the problem...
but there are limits.
There are limits, just like this.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm against it. I think qualified immunity should not
What is it?
exist.
The state of Michigan is doing away with that right now, I think.
I believe so. I think there's a couple of places.
Honestly, I don't really have a problem with qualified immunity as long as the officers are following the law.
Right. But that's another thing, is if they don't have qualified immunity, they can still follow the law. And if somebody accuses them of something and they go to court and whatever...
Well, the whole point of qualified immunity was they're supposed to have immunity if they pull somebody over and the guy jumps out of the car holding a cell phone and things happen really fast and they think that cell phone is a gun and they kill him.
Right. Now, but that's where...
You gotta put yourself in the officer's shoes there.
You do. And you're right. For situations like that, but the thing is, the AG may not even charge them as far as...
But that's
criminal.
that's the kind of thing that it was...
Designed to protect for the law, for civil lawsuit against that.
Right.
But...
And they should be protected in the
They should be... They should be protected in those situations, but at the same time, when they do something that they knowingly is wrong or bad, and they do it, and they're like, oh, well, that's going to happen to me. Well, I'm going to lose my job in this county. I'll just go to the next county over. And that's what happens. They get hired by multiple counties.
It happens.
And, you know, that's how they do their career.
Like the officer that was fired, the OPD officer that was fired for speeding.
Yes.
He went and got a job somewhere else.
Yeah, he went to another county, another
department.
Yeah.
I don't know where, but
Yeah.
I do remember reading that he did. You wanted to say something about the Toys for Tots event that's coming up.
Yes, so Toys Are for Tots. I actually had a coworker, he actually told me about a news story about this. How they've got the funding to buy the Toys for Tots, but they don't have the individuals to go get the toys or separate the toys, deliver the toys.
Oh, so they need volunteers.
They actually need volunteers to actually put hands on.
Do you know how to get in touch with them?
No, but I believe you could Google Toys for Tots in your community to go and.
I've actually
volunteer.
been on the Toys for Tots bike ride with the Marine Corps before.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, in Chicago,
Oh, that's cool.
a couple of times.
Matter of fact, in this neighborhood, I heard a huge motorcycle group going by.
Yeah.
And it's probably that run for the Toys for Tots
I think it's next week.
next week.
Next
Well,
week.
they're probably getting ready for it.
Yeah.
But it's one of those kind of things, and that's. I've been thinking about trying to take the time to do something like that because, spending money for something like that's great, but it's not the actual gift of doing it.
Right.
And the actual labor in doing something like that for someone, I think, is more rewarding than just given monetary value.
It's pretty cool watching all those motorcycles rolling down the road, and they've got like teddy bears and stuff strapped to them.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
This big burly guy with a little itty bitty teddy bear. Yeah.
There was one that had a stuffed unicorn on his handlebars
Yeah.
one time. It was just
That's kind of cool. And it's touching, and it's good to see. And I've seen, I know I harp on North Carolina and the victims of that, but there's individuals, I believe, here from Florida actually heading up there with trailer loads of winter gear and also toys for them. And I know we should be focusing here in Florida, but Florida, I feel like it's a very giving state.
it is.
And we're going to help these individuals where it feels like the government has kind of totally forgot, and they're spending billions of dollars in Africa.
Right. It's true.
Yeah. So, did you want me to continue with talking about that stuff with Africa, or save it for another segment?
Yeah, we'll say that.
All
One
right.
thing we really do need to talk about, and I've been meaning to bring it up for a while. It's kind of a touchy subject, but what is the best use of cowbell in rock and roll?
Cowbell and rock and roll. Well, the only time I've ever heard it used correctly and the best is with Blue Oyster Cult.
There you go. All right.
Give me some cowbell. More cowbell.
I fully agree. And on that note, I think that's the end of this show.
All right, so guys, like, share, make a comment.
It's a tiny channel. We need your help.
Yeah, and please leave comments that allows us to understand what we're doing wrong, what you feel like we could do to make the show grow and do better. And if you feel like we did a good job and you want to share it, please share it.
Yep.